Apple just announced their final event of 2024. It's coming, it's gonna be shocking, and it's not going to look like this. Apple is doing something totally different this time. So ever since Apple wrapped up their big September iPhone Apple Watch event, we've all sort of been waiting for the other shoe to drop. We've been waiting for the second fall event like last year that would give us some all-new M4 Macs, a couple of iPad surprises, and maybe one more thing that no one was expecting. Apple has already pretty unceremoniously announced an all-new, slightly updated iPad mini. The M4 Macbook Pro has already extensively leaked over in Russia and then made its way online. And now Mark Gurman over at Bloomberg reports that Apple is planning to hold a special little offline presentation for media and influencers, select special people, to be able to go hands-on with these new M4 Macs in Los Angeles. That's gonna be on Wednesday, which highly suggests that the official launch on November 1st that's rumored to happen does look pretty likely. And literally the moment I sat down to record this video, this tweet comes up from Greg Joswiak about macking your calendars for some announcements, and now my whole script for this video is off because I was speculating what was gonna happen, and now, well, actually, I don't know. Is an event happening or not? This is kind of a weird move from Apple. All right, so sort of my initial thoughts here. Obviously, Mac your calendars, the animation, the Finder guy. This is gonna be a lot of Mac-centered announcements. And what's super interesting here is that, well, it's gonna be a week of announcements, according to Greg, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna follow the traditional Apple event approach where you sit down for an hour or even, 45 minutes, you watch a little video and presentation, that's it. Actually, what this seems more like is, remember that time, was it a year or two, a couple years ago now, that there was like the surprise week of Tim making announcements on Twitter of new products? That seems like what this is gonna be all over again, where Apple might actually stagger their release and do one announcement a day for 3 or 4 days throughout the week. So as of now, it seems like really there's 3 ways this could go. Apple could hold like a full 45-minute, 1-hour event, which seems extremely unlikely at this point given the fact that no invites have gone out. We could also just see them announce this stuff via press release, so like maybe every day there's just a press release with some images and that's it, that's on the table. But what they could also do here, which actually would make a lot of sense, and we've seen them do this at least once before, is sort of a hybrid of press release and event with like a mini 10-minute video. I think Apple did this last back in January of 2023, where we got just randomly in Apple's newsroom a 10-minute event segment as like a standalone little announcement. I think it was for the Mac Mini and something else, some old Apple Silicon. It's been a while, I don't really remember what it was, but I just remember it was a very weird standalone mini Apple event. That could be a strategy that Apple uses next week to sort of fluff up some of these more expected announcements, and especially give some much needed time to this new redesigned Mac Mini, which should be the star of the show. Speaking of those M4 Macs though, again, we are gonna get iMac, Mac Mini, MacBook Pro, but we're now hearing of a couple of M4 Macs that won't be here this year. M4 MacBook Airs, Apple is working on some all new models for this with that new silicon inside, but that won't be launching until the first half of 2025. And then Mac Studio and presumably Mac Pro, the higher end Macs, those will get the M4 treatment as well, but at least for the Mac Studio, it wouldn't be happening until the second half of 2025. So if you're in the market for a Mac Studio, prepare to wait about a year before we get the M4 treatment. Weird that Apple just can't upgrade all the silicon, versions at once and just keep everything unified. They're gonna do this staggered launch, but that's how it's shaping up right now. So MacBook Air, Mac Studio, next year, essentially everything else but Mac Pro happening before the end of this year, likely in the next week. All right, moving on from that, 2 little tidbits of news to discuss and aren't necessarily good for Apple. One is that we're hearing this week that Apple is set to stop producing Vision Pro, basically ending the production of that product, basically because they've made enough already to sort of have enough supply to meet demand. So not that they're canceling Vision Pro, but basically they're gonna stop making it, they've got enough stockpiled, and they're gonna put more of their efforts into making that lower cost version and also Vision Pro 2. So basically there shouldn't be any delays trying to get a Vision Pro these days. And we're also hearing that Apple has cut production of the iPhone 16 as well, as that phone is expected to sell weaker than what Apple initially planned, bland and a bit weaker than the 15 series did at the same point as last year. I think many are saying that the iPhone 16 feels like a less substantial upgrade. Many are waiting to see if the Apple Intelligence sort of a feature set is gonna make that phone worth it or not. And luckily, we should be getting our very first sort of taste of Apple Intelligence with iOS 18.1 launching next week. This update will pack a couple of the first Apple Intelligence features that we're expecting to see. The cleanup magic eraser sort of thing in Apple Photos, that'll be here. The new sort of composition grammar intelligence writing feature, that'll be here as well. Apple's already also debuted 18.2 in developer betas, and that has Genmojis and some chat GPT integrations and stuff like that. And again, just to sort of clarify, two things to know is one, all this Apple Intelligence stuff only is going to work on 15 Pro and above, so you've got to have a relatively new iPhone. And also, if you do want to experience like the cutting edge latest stuff ASAP, you can still join the developer beta program or even the public beta program, totally free, costs you nothing, and that does get you to sort of cut the line a little early and try things before they're released to the general public. So if you just are clamoring for Apple Intelligence and just don't want to wait, that totally exists, it's free, and you can do that if you want to get in a little early and try it out for yourself. Rounding out the news cycle for this week, again, iPhone 17 rumors confirming that we should be getting a smaller little notch cutout as most of the Face ID components will be moving under the display, so that'll be nice to see on the iPhone 17 Pro. And then also iPhone SE 4, set to be one of Apple's biggest iPhone upgrades ever, is on track for a launch sometime in the first half of 2025, likely in the spring. And it seems like the more we hear about 2025, the more exciting things are, and the more chance there is for a pretty exciting Apple Spring event early in 2025 to kick off the year with a lot of excitement. So hopefully that happens. But besides that, that's kind of it. A little bit of a slower Apple news week. Hopefully we get some new Macs and some stuff coming soon. But with that, I'll sort of turn it over to you guys. Your thoughts on this? Your thoughts on Apple slowing down production on iPhone 17, canceling production on Vision Pro, iOS 18.1. Are you excited for Apple Intelligence? And fall event happening or not? Think we could see any surprises? Drop a comment down below and let me know. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Thank you for your support. I am Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle. I'll see you all in the next one.